here with Congresswoman Linda Sanchez of California. She just got done speaking to the Hispanic caucus here in Philadelphia. Thank you for following us here at FoxNewsLatino.com as we continue to give you coverage of the Democratic National Convention. Congresswoman, thank you so much for being here with us. Let's talk first and foremost, Hillary Clinton becoming the official nominee yesterday. The Latina community, Latinas in general, they hold the power in the household. Just talk in general about what it means to Latino women out there to see Hillary Clinton become the nominee for the party.
Well, I think there's a lot of excitement in the Latina community about seeing the first woman be the nominee from a major party for the office of President of the United States, because it's a signal to us that the mold is changing. And if Hillary can do this and shatter this barrier, Latinas are not far behind. I tell people this all the time. My sister Loretta and I, the only sisters in the history of the United States to serve in the U.S. Congress, and we're Latinas. That presidential step is not far off in the future for our community.
This is a big segue into what everyone's talking about. 48%, that's the number that everyone talks about in terms of voter participation. It's a low number for Latinos. Is it enough, do you think, to have Hillary Clinton as a woman bring out more women in the Hispanic community to go out to vote? And what else does the Democratic Party have to do to get them out there?
Sure. That has always been our challenge as a community. We are big in numbers, but we don't participate fully in the way that we have and the power that we could have. So I keep telling folks, Latinas carry a huge amount of sway within their families. And if Latina women are engaged in this election and pulling for Hillary, I think we will see turnout increase overall. I think having Donald Trump on the Republican ticket really also drives turnout, because you have a very clear choice. You have somebody who appreciates and recognizes the contributions of immigrants to this country versus somebody who vilifies them. And I think that will also motivate our community to turn out. If that doesn't motivate our community to turn out, I don't know what does. But young voters too. I mean, the Latino community is incredibly young. Average age of Latino in the United States, under 30, and we really need that participation to increase. I think young people have a lot that they're concerned about. They have an opportunity to make their voices heard in this election, and as a community, we have to decide, are we just going to speak in this election, or are we going to roar in November and make sure our voices are heard?
And my last question for you here, what does that look like on the ground? We continuously hear this, but how is this going to be different? Because a lot of people aren't too sure that fear of Donald Trump is going to be enough. What does it look like on the ground to actually bring out more voters than what we saw in 2008 and 2012?
Well, clearly there are great organizations that do a good job of voter registration and engagement in GOTV, but I'm going to tell you, it starts with every individual. I go to a CrossFit gym in the morning, and on primary election day I was there, and I was talking to everybody in the class, Latinos. I'm like, are you guys going to vote today? It's primary election day. Oh, I didn't realize that. Oh, today's election. Yes, and you have until 8 p.m. to get there and vote, and I want to see everybody go and vote. There's still so many people, we just take for granted that everybody knows that this election cycle is important and that they know the specifics of how to get to the polls and where to vote. It takes engaging every individual you come into contact with and asking them to.
The lack of enthusiasm that people are a little bit afraid of, given the fact that Hillary Clinton had a chance to pick a Latino vice president and chose not to. Tim Kaine will be speaking tonight. How do you address young Latinos, especially the Bernie Sanders folks, who say, you know what, she had a chance to pick one of us and she chose not to? Are you afraid that's going to maybe push people back a little bit to showing up to vote?
Well, I tell people, look, when you are running for the highest office in the land and you have to pick a running mate, there's a lot of considerations that go into that selection process.
A little bit disappointed?
Would I have loved to see a Latino or a Latina on that ticket? Absolutely. But look, she has to trust that person. She has to have a personal relationship with that person. She has to campaign tirelessly with that person. It's a very personal choice. And there were a number of Latinos that were considered for that spot. It's not far off. And didn't happen this election cycle, but it doesn't mean that Hillary Clinton doesn't care about our community. She's been a champion for us time and time again. I have no doubt that she and Tim Kaine have the best interests of our community at heart and will push for the priorities that matter to us.
Congresswoman, thank you so much for your time, and good luck to your sister, Loretta Sanchez, in the senatorial race. Again, that was the Congresswoman Linda Sanchez speaking after the Hispanic caucus about getting out the Hispanic vote. We've heard a lot about that at this convention, but how do you do it, and can it go above the 48%? Linda Sanchez, the Congresswoman, believes, well, maybe Hispanic women can push that number over the edge, given the history that Hillary Clinton has made being the first woman nominee for president. Here at the DNC in Philadelphia, I'm Brian Yennis, Please continue to follow us here at FoxNewsLatino.com for the very latest on the election and all Latino news. Take care.